watching the station that's working for you. Now, WMAR 2 News.
Hi, I'm Christian Schaefer with your WMAR 2 News update. The Coast Guard officer from Maryland accused of planning a domestic terror attack has a court appearance scheduled for today. Lieutenant Christopher Hassan was arrested last month on gun and drug charges after investigators say they found more than 15 guns and 1,000 rounds of ammunition at his apartment in Silver Spring. Right now, he's only charged with possession of 2 gun silencers, and he's also charged with being a user of drugs and possession of a weapon. But prosecutors say this is a much more serious case than that. They say Hassan is a white nationalist inspired in part by Anders Breivik, who killed 77 people in Norway back in 2011. Investigators say they found a hit list in his apartment that included the names of some TV personalities and leaders in the Democratic Party. He is scheduled to be arraigned in federal court in Greenbelt at 2 o'clock this afternoon. The new docu-series, The Case Against Adnan Syed, premiered on HBO last night, just 2 days after a bombshell decision from Maryland's highest court denying Syed a new trial. He is still serving a life sentence in Western Maryland after being convicted of strangling his girlfriend, Hae Min Lee. The murder happened back in 1999 when they were both students at Woodlawn High School. Lee's body was then found buried in Leakin Park. In 2014, the popular podcast Serial took a close examination of the Syed case, centering on this woman, whether the attorney should have contacted a fellow student, Asia McClain, who said that she was with Syed at the time of the murder, so he couldn't have done it. That led to more investigations and a finding by Syed's supporters that cell phone evidence used to place him at the scene of the murder might not have been reliable. So 2 separate issues there, the Asia McClain issue and the cell phone issue. In 2016, a judge in Baltimore City granted Syed a new trial based on not Asia McClain, but the cell phone evidence. The state appealed. Court of Special Appeals upheld the new trial, but not for the cell phone evidence. Instead, those judges ruled that it was Syed's attorney's failure to contact Asia McClain that was the reason he should get a new trial. But then Friday, by the narrowest of margins, the judges on Maryland's highest court, the Court of Appeals, voted to overturn that decision. It was a 4-3 vote. The judge is finding that Syed's attorney should have contacted the witness, but even if she did, it might not have convinced the jury that Syed was innocent. After the ruling, Syed's new attorney, Justin Brown, released a statement which reads, in part, "We are devastated by the Court of Appeals decision, but we will not give up on Adnan Syed. The Court of Appeals has said that witness would not have affected the outcome of the proceeding. We think just the opposite is true. From the perspective of the defendant," he continues, "there is no stronger evidence than an alibi witness." The next stop for Syed and his supporters could be an appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court. We will continue to update you on that story. Also, after weeks of public meetings and hearings across Baltimore City, City Council set to vote on the nomination of Michael Harrison to be the new Baltimore City Police Commissioner tonight. Last week, a committee voted unanimously in favor of confirming him. The Board of Estimates has already voted to approve a 5-year contract with a starting salary of $275,000 a year. If he is approved tonight, Harrison will become the police department's 4th commissioner in a little over a year after Kevin Davis, Darrell D'Souza, and Gary Tuggle. And also happening today, big rally in Annapolis calling for more education funding. Organizers say it's going to be the biggest rally in nearly a decade. Today's march comes 1 week after Democratic leaders in the General Assembly introduced the so-called Blueprint for Maryland's Future, which would dedicate an additional $1 billion in funding to schools over the next 2 years. Crossover day for the 2019 legislative session is 1 week from today, so legislation like that education funding bill has to get through either the House or the Senate by Monday of next week in order to have a realistic chance of passing this year.
And now from WMAR 2 News, Maryland's most accurate forecast.
Well, we have a little spring in our step today as high temperatures make their way close to that 60-degree mark and a little bit more sunshine in those skies above. Mild but breezy going into the afternoon hours, wind gusts upwards of 20 miles per hour. High temperatures across the region, down at the Inner Harbor, 59 degrees, 59 in Annapolis, 60 in Patuxent River, 57 even down there in Ocean City. Pretty good day to be down at the beach with temperatures nice and mild for this time of year. Overnight tonight, we're back down to around freezing, 32 degrees, a starry night. The chilly air returns. It is with us through your Tuesday and Wednesday with highs in the upper 40s and lower 50s. Back to 60 we go on Thursday, still in the 60s with a rumble of thunder as we get towards Friday afternoon.
Starting to feel more like spring. Thanks, Eric. Stick with us online at WMAR2news.com all day long for updates on your top stories and breaking news. And for news and weather on the go, you can download the WMAR2 News app. We got live radar on there. and you can set up breaking news alerts to come straight to your phone. Thanks for watching. I'm Christian Schaefer.
This WMAR 2 News Update is sponsored by Jones Junction,